Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Monday. Well, Bitcoin's up at least, so that's a good news there. Miners, on the other hand, had a kind of rough day again today. BitTR was down huge today for some reason. I know they provided their quarterly results and their production update for October. Haven't had a chance to look through that yet. I will do that tomorrow. But we also had TeraWulf reporting today. Their numbers were pretty good overall. Who else do we have here? Hive reported their operational update for October, so we'll get into that. And I think that's it. That's all I have for you guys right now. We'll get to everything else. Obviously, what Bitcoin did today, miners as well, and everything else. But you guys know the drill. Not financial advice for him only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here today. So Bitcoin today was up a little bit. It was up, let's see here. Today was up another 1.23%, which was nice. We're down a little bit on the new day for Tuesday. Here we were up a little bit higher here. Today we closed on Bitcoin here at 105,979.38 cents, which was pretty good. Markets were up. Dow Jones was up nicely. Nasdaq was up 2.27%. S&P was up 1.54%. Russell was up 1%. And yet still a lot of the miners were down today. They started out in the green quite nicely, being up 3, 4, 5, 6%, if not higher. And then they just crashed down throughout the day here, it seems like. So it looks like the market makers did not want these things to run here today. Did not want to have those gaps on them, I guess. Also, we'll take a look at those numbers or those figures there. But yeah, today was kind of a little strange day there for it. And for some reason, my internet, or at least not my internet, but TradingView taking a little while to load here. I don't know if it's got a lot of people on it or not. Ethereum today was actually down. It was down 0.46% there on that one. It's up a little bit here in the new day. But yeah, going to the miners here, Bitfarms was down 2.19%. As you can see, it's taking a while for it to load. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing it's on TradingView there. So apologize for that. BitTR today was down 19.74%. That was huge, right? Like we talked about, they provided their quarterly results along with their operational update for October there. Haven't had a chance to go through that. I will go through that tomorrow there. Kango was actually up today 1.71. Cypher down 5% there. Cleanspark was down 3.4. It was down. We got news on Cleanspark as well. Cleanspark is doing convertible notes. We'll talk about that. So that's maybe why this thing is down today. It was down even more after hours there. CORZ was down 4.46%. Hive was up actually 0.64%. Hut 8 was up 5.79%. We do have some news for Hive as well. IREN was down 3.54. Mara was down 1.83. Riot was down 1.82. Wolf was down. Riot was up 1.82. Wolf was up 2.58% there as well. See, is it still? Yeah, it's still taking a while for it to load. MicroStrategy was down 1.26. Galaxy was down. Black was up. Galaxy was up 0.56. Black was up 2.06. Coin was up 2.84. Metaplanet was down 1.41% there. Exodus was up 1.11. Nexon was up 4.62. Semler was up 6.05. Phoenix was up 2.28. Game was down actually. Small miners were all in the red today. Mawson being down quite a bit there. 11%. Looking at the Bitcoin miner ETFs, those are all in the red here, with WGBI being down 2.74%. Then the Ethereum holding companies, BMNR was the only one that was in the green here, up 2.29. Everybody else was in the red. And going down here to some of the other companies we track here, we got American Bitcoin was up 5.39. Wi-Fi was up 104. Open was up. Open was up huge today. What happened there? Let's see if this thing will actually load. It might take a while for it to load. Oracle was up 0.66% there. Nibius, Soluna was down. Bakkt was down quite a bit also. And then who else here do we have here? Meta, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft were all in the green today. So yeah, a little weird day as far as when it comes to the miners here. Miners here at after hours right now. Let's see if this actually loads here. It does. Wonderful. BitTR is actually up 2.83% after being down 19% on the day. Bitfarms right now in the pre-market hours is down 1.39. Cypher is, let's see where that one comes in, 1.37% in the green. Cleanspark is down a little bit more, another 3.13%. CORZ Scientific is actually on now down 0.16% here. Hive is up 1.48% there. Hut 8 is up 1.72. IREN is actually now up 1.11%. Mara is up 0.26%. Riot is down 0.4%, and TeraWulf here is down 0.49% after being down also in the day here. Okay, Bitcoin here for the month right now, we're down 3.02%, so we're kind of catching up a little bit. We're going back up into the green here a little bit. but it's still going to take a couple days for us to get above that. Maybe by the end of the week, we start going green here. We'll see. On that one, Bitcoin ETF inflows, kind of measly inflows today. 1.2 million here. This was from Bitwise. Bitwise had 1.2 million there, roughly. We don't have BlackRock reporting there. As long as BlackRock is in the green, we'll be in the green here for Bitcoin inflows. Some of the news stories that we do have here, obviously Cleanspark announced proposed private offering of 1 billion of convertible notes. This came out after hours of trading there. So that's why kind of stock went down, and maybe that's why it was going down towards during the day as well. But today, they announced that it intends to offer, subject to market conditions and other factors, 1 billion aggregate principal amount of convertible senior notes due 2032. And Cleanspark also expects to grant the initial purchasers of the convertible notes an option to purchase within the 13-day period beginning on and including on the date on which the convertible notes are first issued, up to an additional 200 million. We'll see what they get in total once this all goes through. The company intends to use up to 400 million of net proceeds from the offering to repurchase shares of the company's common stock. So that's actually pretty good, right? There's going to be less. They're going to be repurchasing their shares from investors in the convertible notes, and the remaining net proceeds for the expansion of the company's power and land portfolio. So that's good. So there might be some deals coming up here in the future for us. The development of data centers infrastructure, and the repayment of outstanding Bitcoin-backed line of credit balances and general corporate purposes. So that's definitely going to help them out there to do all the things that they want to do. So this is actually pretty good news overall, right? We don't know what the percentage is going to be on these things yet. We'll find out, obviously, in due course, whether these are going to be 0% or if there's going to be some sort of percentage associated with it as well on it. So, yeah, we will definitely see what else happens here on these. Okay, so that's it for that one. Hive provided our operational update here for October. So Hive is pleased to report October 2025 Bitcoin production and results confirms that it has now surpassed 24 exahash of global Bitcoin or global mining capacity, which is great. So they're only 1 exahash away. They should get to the 25 exahash here by the end of this month, maybe at right around Thanksgiving time, right? We have about 2 weeks left or so that's great. They mined 289 Bitcoin here, up 8% month over month from 267 in September. They're up 147% year over year from 117 BTC in October of last year. And then they're averaged about 21.9 exahash per second and peaking at 23.6. And that's kind of what I have them at right now for the end of October there. And that one, going down here, the company expects to reach approximately 25 exahash of operational hash rate this week. Okay, so actually they're going to get there this week, so it's going to be early, so that's great. Following the conclusion of intermittent curtailment at its Canadian facilities with an average efficiency of approximately 17.5 joules per terahash, which is fantastic. So they are going to be able to reach their target of 25 exahash before the American Thanksgiving holiday, which is fantastic. They've had a huge growth here this year, which is quite lovely to see, actually. Love seeing it. And definitely love the growth that they've had here this year. Like I said before, right, I've been kind of a nag on them about their growth in the past. And they have definitely done a great job here this year, growing and expanding their hash rate there. I think they could probably use that growth a little bit more here into next year, but we'll see where they go, right? They're trying to get to, I think, they stated 30 or 35 exahash sometime next year as well. So they're going to be definitely growing there also. Down here, we also have their Canadian growth from Tier 1 to Tier 3 infrastructures, right? On this stuff, you guys can definitely read that. We've covered that as well in the past here. And then Hive will release their results for the 6 months ended September 30th on Friday, this November 14th. So we're going to have, I think, Bitfarms is on Friday as well. And Hive will be also, I think, this Friday. And then their earnings conference call will be on Monday, the 17th at 8 a.m. Eastern time there. Okay, so there's those details for them. Let's take a look at what we have for them. Why isn't this working for me? Yeah, things are stuck. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's see what's going on here. Google, my spreadsheet closed. Hold on a sec. Let's go here really quick while I set things up. Why did it close on me? My computers have been acting strange lately. It's like they got ghosts in them or something. Bear with me while I open this up here. Come on. Maybe I just need to restart the computer. It's been on for quite a while. Sometimes that helps. Just restarting clears all the cache and memory and everything else, and things work a little bit better after that. All right, let's get into Hive here. So let's go back here. There we go. All right, going up here. So Hive has right now 204 million shares outstanding, right? Stock price is at $4.70. This is as of, well, I think I updated it. Is it as of today? Was their stock price 470 today? Might be, might not be. Let's see, where were they at? Let's see if this loads. Hive was 473 today, so they were up. So that's actually old. So that's from Friday's numbers for them. Okay, so we do have that. So we're close, but not close enough here. Market cap 960 million, more or less. Performance over the last 12 weeks has been pretty good, right? 86% up, 24% from 8 weeks ago. They're down 17% from 4 weeks ago and down last week, 9.62%. We're seeing that kind of across the board with the miners here. They're having a pretty rough time here in the last couple of weeks. Current hash rate, 23.6 is what I have them at, right? They're currently at 24 for the month of November now. Future hash rate, right, 25, so they're pretty close to being fully installed as it is. Bitcoin HODL is questionable. I don't know if they still have the 580. I've kind of kept that ever since April when they last reported it. Could be higher, could be lower. We don't know. They don't report anymore. So that's kind of questionable there. So that's about 61%, and there's 61 million valued if they do have that. And then HODL market cap would be 6.4%, which is actually pretty low there. Bitcoin production here has been a nice steady increase in that over the last 6 months or so. 289 here in October. Monthly mining revenue also increased quite nicely here, right? Almost 4x, well, 3 to 4x. They were at 8.2 million here, increasing their hash rate nicely as well. Helped them get to 33 million roughly in revenue there. Bitcoin HODL, like I said, we don't know what they HODL here more or less. Hash rate growth, right? 23.6 right now. About almost 2 exahash being installed in the month of October, which is great. And then, like you can see all the hash rate growth that they've had here in the last 6 months, right? 3.5 exahash, 1 exahash, 3.7 exahash, 2.9, 3.7, right? That's been growing nicely there. BTC per exahash efficiency, 12.24, really efficient here in the month of October there. Going down here as far as institutions are concerned, we got 153 institutions in them now. So that's increased, as well as the shares owned by institutions to 63 million, and that represents 29.85 million. 29.85% of the shares are owned by institutions there. We still have 6 strong buy ratings, 2 buy ratings, 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sells. Price targets are still $11 for them. The average went up to $8.95 and the low went up to $7.50. So that's pretty good there. For the month here of October, we had them operating for 29.159 days roughly. The new machines being installed were about 20 days roughly. They got us to the 33.014 million there. So that's actually really nice and efficient operations there. And looking back on this, based on that information, multiplying that times 12 months, plus we're adding like 1 million in HPC revenue that they have currently. That gets us to about a run rate of about 415 million if Bitcoin stays where it's at right now. Price-wise, number hash rate doesn't go up too much as well. That should represent about 415 million in annual run rate for them right now. Okay. Based on that, we have in between $10 and $15 for the price targets here with a PE of 10. That is actually giving a discount to them because they don't have any operations in the United States. And that's actually a little bit higher than what the analysts have them at, right? Analysts have them high as a high of $11. I'm at $15.25. So that's still giving a little bit of maybe a premium. Maybe the analysts are looking at some lower numbers here, maybe like an 8 or something like that, somewhere between there. 8 to 7 maybe. Yeah, more like a 7 PE or something like that. I give him 10. I think that would be fair, right? I know that they don't have any operations here in the United States. That might be a little bit of a detriment to them. Maybe, maybe not. Time will tell on it. But it's nice to see that they're obviously operating quite nicely with hash rate growth. They are transitioning the data centers in Canada and possibly Sweden as well to HPC AI. So they are definitely getting into that more so. So yeah, great job by the Hive team there. Everybody involved. Fantastic job this year in their growth and getting and meeting and what's the other term for that? Where it's beyond blowing the expectations, right, as far as their growth is what I'm trying to say here. So great job. Continue that. And yeah, I think the stock is undervalued. That's 470. I think it should be definitely higher from where it's at right now. All right, so there's that one. Let's take a look at TeraWulf numbers here really quick as well. While we have the data here, let's go to TeraWulf here. Okay, TeraWulf reported their third quarter 2025 results. It took me a while to import all this stuff. I was basically 4 quarters behind on them since they stopped reporting quarterly or monthly production updates last December, I want to say it was November, December timeframe. So I was quite behind. Took me quite a while. It took me a couple hours to input all the data today, but we got it done. I still have some more things to finish up on the spreadsheet that I do have for the charts and things like that. But at least we have the data in there right now, and some of those charts have been updated here. So here's what we got. Transformational quarter marked by rapid HPC expansion, strategic growth, and long-term financings to support rapid scaling of HPC platform. Reaffirms growth strategy targeting 250 to 500 megawatts of new contracted capacity annually. So that's great there. And here's what we got. Execution expansion into a new HPC campus at its flagship Lake Mariner campus in Barbara, New York. TeraWulf continues to build one of the North America's largest and most sustainable HPC campuses. As of September 30th, the site has energized 245 megawatts of Bitcoin mining capacity and 22.5 megawatts of HPC capacity. So they still have a long ways to go. The next year probably to get that all built out. Let's see what else we have here. This didn't highlight here. Okay, strength capital as far as revenue here, right? TeraWulf expanded its national footprint with the formation of Abernathy joint venture in Texas through its subsidiary Big Country Wolf LLC. Partnering again with FluidStack and Google, the Abernathy campus is initially designed for 240 megawatts of capacity with potential site expansion to 600 megawatts. The venture, in which TeraWulf holds up to 51% controlling interest, includes 25-year lease with FluidStack, back $1.3 billion there. We obviously talked about this ad nauseum here a little bit as well, right? The 6.7 billion contracted revenue for them as well through that. And then the Strength Capital Foundation here during the third quarter and continuing into the fourth quarter marked a step change in the company's financial profile. In August, TeraWulf completed a $1 billion offering at 1% convertible senior notes due 2031. Subsequent to the quarter end, the company closed a $3.2 billion private offering at 7.75% senior secured notes due 2030. And financed the Lake Mariner HPC build-out. TeraWulf also completed a $1.025 billion offering of 0% convertible notes due 2032 to fund its equity contribution to the Abernathy joint venture and enhance parent-level liquidity. Together, these financings provide long-term capital to support TeraWulf's continued growth and scale. Yeah, I mean, they got basically what, $4 billion roughly or so, 4,225. Right? So that should definitely bolster their balance sheet there and help them out to build out all of these sites that they want to build out here, which is great to see. Pipeline future, obviously we've talked about that as well many, many times here. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. Excuse me, allergies are starting to kick in again. Third quarter 2025, subsequent highlights here, right? Executed 3 10-year FluidStack leases at Lake Mariner, totaling approximately $6.7 billion in contracted lease payments, backed by $3.2 billion in Google credit enhancements. And then formed the Abernathy joint venture there with FluidStack. We talked about that. Completed over $5 billion of long-term financings, funding Lake Mariner. Yeah, it was, I said 4.2, it's 5.2, because they got 3, 1, and 1. So it is 5. There, let's see here, achieved Q3 2025 revenue of $50.6 million, including $7.2 million in initial HPC lease revenue. So that's starting to grow for them as well. And then ended the quarter with $712 million in cash equivalents, and restricted cash there. You guys can read the rest of it. I had not had a chance to listen to the conference call there. That is on my agenda for tomorrow as well. I'll see if there's anything that's of interest there. If you guys have listened to it, let me know if you guys were able to take part in that. But going back to TeraWulf here, like I said, TeraWulf, some of these things have been updated, some of these things have not been updated here, but here's what we got roughly right now, and I need to probably update this right now because that's going back to Q3 of 2024, and we have a lot more data here. So they are currently at 418 million shares outstanding. Stock price, $13.94, which is obviously from Friday. Market cap, $5.8 billion right now. They got basically $5 billion in liabilities and convertible notes and things like that. Right, so we got that. Their performance over the last 12 weeks has been actually pretty good there, right? Up 52% from 12 weeks ago, up 27% from 8 weeks ago. They're up just 0.1% from 4 weeks ago. And then last week, they're down 10%, like a lot of companies here are as well. Current hash rate, I think they're like at 8.7 right now for their self-mined, or 8.5 even, maybe somewhere around there. I read it in the 10Q report. Future hash rate, I doubt they're going to be in 10 here. They're more concentrating now on HPCI progress going forward there. So I doubt they're going to be getting to that. Bitcoin HODL, I don't know if they HODL anything here. BTC per quarter here. So now we're looking at the quarterly results for them instead of the monthly results like we have in the past here. So that was 377 Bitcoin mined in Q3 here, down from the 485 that they had in Q2, which was actually a really good quarter for them, right? Before it was coming down, so they had a nice bounce here in Q2, but they came back down in Q3. Hash rate, like I said, hash rate's outdated. We need to update that as well. Revenue is now updated for them, and you can see that they reached the new high for them, 50.58 million there for Q3, which is a nice improvement from where they were just a couple quarters ago in Q4, which was 17.62 million there. BTC per exahash efficiency is null and void. We don't have any data on them. Bitcoin sold, again, that needs to be updated or removed as well. And then last 4 quarters revenue, you can see that has been increasing nicely here for them. Last 4 quarters operating costs minus depreciation here have been coming down as well, which is good. Obviously, Q1 was pretty high, 77 million there. It came down to 38 million there. Debt to equity has been coming down lower also, which is good. Current ratio has been improving as well. It's at 1 right now, more or less, so that's good there. Total current assets as of Q3, they had 32.42 million. And they have 32.42 million current liabilities as well. Okay, but that's been coming down. Total current liabilities have been coming down. Total current assets has been up and down here. It'll be much higher here when they report Q4 as well. Okay, going down here to institutions, I did update that as well. Last time we did it was back in January of 2025 here, so it's been almost a year. We do have now 425 institutions for them. Shares are 246 million owned there. That's 60.36%. We do have 10 strong buy ratings, 2 buy ratings, 1 hold rating. Price targets of $26 for them, for the high, $21.29 for the average, and low of $9.50 from the analysts. I have them right now kind of low. I got to put in some more details on the revenues that we're going to be generating annually from FluidStack, right? The deals that got there, what that's going to represent. So if I don't want to do I would have to do the numbers. I think it's like around 500 million roughly annual run rate on that, right? So let's do that 500 million in there. So then we're looking pretty much what the analysts are looking at as well. 1697 to 2545 on it, which would be in line with what the analysts are looking at. So they're at 1394. I do think they are still undervalued a little bit there, but they've taken on a lot of debt in order to fund all the growth that they are obviously seeing here. Okay. Going down here to the quarterly results here. Like I said, I had to take in 4 quarters of results here. I had to put in Q4, Q1, Q2, and now Q3 as well. So it took me a little while today. And obviously some of the stuff for Bitcoin mining is not going to be important anymore, I think. Plus it's not reported, so it's kind of hard to track it nonetheless. But what we do have here is, let's see, total current assets is 729 million. Why am I showing total current assets up here of only total current assets of, oh, I didn't update this. I missed that one. Missed those other 2. Those are going back to 2024 here. So let's see here. If we go back to here, I need to delete those, put in Q3. Q4 would have been fiscal year end, so it's basically these guys here. All right, bear with me while I update this because I did miss those here. That one as well needs to get updated. Okay. Delete that, put that in here, do it as a row, and we should be good there. Okay, so that gets corrected, so at least that's correct there. I probably need to increase the number or the axis on it. Let's just try to keep it the same, so here we'll just do it a billion there, I guess. And then we'll put this at 1.5 billion also. There we go. So that way they're both equal. That works out. There we go. All right. So 729 million in total current assets, total current liabilities, 705 million. All right. That is fixed there. So we talked about that already. Going over here, total current liabilities, 705 million. Total liabilities is 2.2 billion. We obviously have more convertible notes that came online here recently, so we'll get an update on that as well. Revenues here was 15 million. They have now divided that out into digital asset revenue and HPC lease revenue as well. So that was 43 million from digital asset revenue, which I believe is Bitcoin mining. And then the HPC lease revenue was 7.2 million there for that one. Going down here, what else do we have here? Gross profit has increased as well, which is good to see. Operational expenses are pretty good overall. Related party, all that stuff. Selling, general administrative also is down from the 46, 50, or 20, right? We had 27 million in Q4 of last year, 46 in Q1. Q2 was actually pretty nice and low, almost 10 million there. Gone up a little bit here to 16.5, so that's still much more. It's better than what it has been back here. I'm guessing some of the stuff was probably share-based compensation for those guys. Depreciation was at 26 million here, which is okay. What else do we have here? Operating loss was 24 million, increased a little bit from the 15.5 million there. They're still not able to squeak out a positive quarter there. Net loss attributable to common shareholders was 455 million compared to 18 million. So we were down $1.13 per share there. Prior quarter we were only at 5 cents negative. Prior to that we were at 16 cents negative. So big thing on that I think was just the loss. Where was it here? Change in fair value of warrants and derivative liabilities. Right. So that's the big hit there for them on this one. All right. Overall, if it wasn't for that, it'd be actually pretty good here. It seems like they're trending in the right direction, right, where they're going to possibly be EPS positive eventually next year sometime. We don't know exactly which quarter it's going to be, but I think if they build out the data centers, get the HPC, GPUs installed, all the data centers, the servers, everything else going, and generating revenue from Google or FluidStack there and Core 42 as well, we should start seeing some positive things happening here in the stock as far as EPS is concerned. So, right, this is a growth story. Growth company right now. It's in growth mode. It's going to be spending quite a bit of money to get there as well, to build out all the stuff that they need to build out. And we've seen that with other companies in the past as well that have done very, very well for shareholders. But it's going to take a little while here. But I think they're still way undervalued from where they probably should be based on just what I'm seeing here currently on them and also what the analysts are seeing as well. They just got to continue to build out, execute, get more deals potentially as well on top of it, and the stock is going to do very well here, I think. All right, so that is it for Riot. Yeah, tomorrow we'll take a look at BitDeer and then see who else reports, or if anybody else reports here. BitDeer also reported their quarterly results and monthly production update for October, so we'll take a look at that tomorrow. I just didn't have time to pull that information in today. Like I said, I was busy pulling in all the TeraWulf data here right now and still haven't finished it all up. All right, that is it. As always, spreadsheets available to my Patreon members. Link for that is down in the description. I did not get this updated for you guys today, to the Patreon members at least. I was just too doggone busy. Unfortunately, I do apologize for that, but I will get it out. I will get it out tomorrow, nonetheless. One way or another, I'll get it out tomorrow for you guys with all the updates that we have right now, right? Which includes obviously Bitfarms, Hive here, TeraWulf, and then maybe we'll even have BitDeer in there by then. Okay, but that's coming up. So let's get into Q&A here, so what you guys have to say. Obviously today was an okay day. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad. It was okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Hopefully we don't have any issues with the sound again like we did yesterday. I didn't want to go there. Where I made it. Let's see, I'm tired. It's getting late. All right, let's get into Q&A here, so what you guys have to say. As always, if you guys could look over. I saw Sir Langton say, Seb, look over something. Looks over here, please. All right, let's see. As always, questions. Preface those with a question mark or a Q. I would appreciate it. I'm going to scroll my way up and work my way down. I will try and look at the actual live comments there to see what the heck is going on, if anything, to see if the sound is off, so I don't talk for 20 minutes to myself. All right, what do we got here? Paul, what the hell? Happy to BitDeer today. Dang, was down basically 20% after hours. That was rough. Yeah, I got to look into it, see what happened there. As far as their report, was there something that they didn't like in the quarterly results there? I saw the production updates for October actually pretty good. They got to like 42 exahash there. And I don't know if it's just that I have to look through it more in detail, but I didn't see anything major there unless I missed something. All right. SKS asks, why is IREN stuck near $60? I mean, it's gotten up huge here. I think it's just people might be selling out a little bit out of that one, potentially, just to take profits as well. But let me see if this works any better here on IREN here. That's my trading view is still sluggish as heck. Why is it sluggish? Okay, so let's take a look at it here. So here we go. Here's IREN, right? This is on the daily here. We've been kind of bouncing. I mean, the RSI looks good to me right now. Look at back here. We were actually lower in price. We're at higher price right now. RSI is pretty much the same spot there, which is good, which I think we will eventually run back up here. We did start out the day much better. If you look at it on the 15-minute chart here, for it actually loads here, right? We were in the green in the morning, and then we had a gap here as well. Well, they wanted to get that gap filled there. So that's what happened. We got the gap filled, then we came down even more after that a little bit also. So I'm not sure. I think it's just short-term, maneuvering in the stocks, nothing major. Eventually, I think we will continue to go up here. I do think that there's just tremendous potential here with IREN specifically. Okay, let's go back here. All right, talked about that one. SK question: Cypher directors sold a lot of shares. Is it a sign of downturn in Cypher price? Directors, let's take a look at it. See who sold here recently on that one. Sometimes it's pre-planned, right? The stock gets to a certain price, and they end up selling at that point. Where do we go? SEC.gov. We'll take a look at Cypher here. Cypher, there it is. Okay, we want to go here. Let's see, ownership disclosures. November 6th, November 5th. I mean, we've had 2, it looks like. Let's see what was November 5th here on that one. Open link in new one, open link in new one. And let's see what we got here. So V3 Holdings, so that's V3 Holdings is BitFury. Part of that BitFury gang there. Let's see how much they sold. Amount of shares that they still have looks like 5.4 million. How much do they sell? BitFury, yeah, BitFury top holdings. I'm not sure how much they sold. 10%, 10%. This is just a okay. And then this one here is William there. Let's see, disposed of 173,000 shares at $22. 1 million there roughly or so, right? The sale reported on this form were effected pursuant to Rule 10B trading plan adopted by reporting person on June 5th, 2025. So this was something that was in play already going back to June, right? So they set it out there. If the stock gets to like $22 or something like that, they're going to sell X amount of shares. This is just playing out. So I don't think this is anything bad or anything negative on the stock here right now, right? Sometimes you got to just read the explanations on these things and you'll get all the details that you need to get there at that, right? The sales were executed in multiple trades at prices ranging from $20 to $24. Okay, yeah. So pre-planned sales, I'm fine with those. We've seen that also with Cleanspark has done that. IREN has done that as well. All these companies do that, right? Because sometimes it can trade the stock, especially insiders. So what they do is they do these pre-planned sales that if a stock gets to an X amount within a certain amount of time or before a certain amount of time, something like that, they have the option obviously to sell at that point, or it's automatic. I think it gets sold. So not a big deal there. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, guy says, I'm scared. Cleanspark back to 14. Long way to go back to 23. What's your price target for this year? Scary. What happened to them? Is it because of convertible notes? Well, today is because of convertible notes, but everything has been coming down here in the last 2 to 4 weeks, I would say. They've run up tremendously like everything else. You need a little bit of a cooling period here, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing here right now with these guys. With Cleanspark, with Bitfarms, with other companies as well, IREN, even Cypher at certain points, all of those guys. Price target wise, I think they should be somewhere between $25 and probably like $35 by the end of the year here. The convertible notes right now obviously is pulling it down a little bit here, but we've seen that with other companies as well when they do convertible notes. With the only exception, I think that was IREN. IREN pulled down a little bit, like 1 or 2%, and went back up. Others have gone down 5, 6%, even 7% at times with the convertible notes, and then they go back up after that. It's just the way that the individuals or organizations that be buying those convertible notes can bring the stock down a little bit, hedge their bets on it, and then they let it run up. Okay, let's see. Paul says, bond market closed tomorrow, yet market still open Veterans Day. So we'll see how miners do. Today was pretty brutal. It wasn't too bad, right? Some miners were down, some were in the green. Let's see. John says, Sebrox, thank you so much for that. Paul, that's unbelievable how major miners today dumped hard and BTC hardly went down. I should be used to it, but dang, it's such manipulation. It is a manipulation, right? They were up in the morning hours, and then within, within 2 hours, within an hour to 2 hours, they were all, well, not all, but most of them were down. All right. Let's see. Sarah says, IREN stock could soar nearly 500% by 2028 on Microsoft AI deal. Says Cantor. Cantor Fitzgerald projects that IREN shares could rise to 384 by 2028 up from the current prices of 62.38. Oh man, that would be fantastic. For me, if they get to like $140, that would be basically $1 million at that point of what I would have in that. If they went up double that, I'd be looking at what, 2.5 million or so? Could I hold on for 2028? Oh, I've held on this long. As long as they continue to execute and grow and bring in more customers and everything else, it might be worth holding on. I may sell a little bit here and there, but I might still be holding a large portion of that. Paul says, let's be honest here. Most of the miners dumped hard today as BTC just had some minor chop. I don't think they dumped hard. I mean, Bitdeer was down 20% for some apparent reason. I'm not sure what it was. We'll find that out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But the other miners were down, a couple percentage points. It wasn't all that bad. This is definitely not the worst that we've seen here out of the miners in the past. Let's see. Sarah says, for some insane reason, IREN Cleansparks were both red today and before close for Cleanspark because I know there were convertible notes. Yeah. Let's see. John says, Hive Cleanspark Cypher, largest positions in buying more IREN. Very nice. Sir Wellington, so excited for Hive to pump. Let's go. Yeah, it's been doing great here. John says, John, it was a pump and dump. Bitfarms is poop company with a lot of hopes and dreams. I don't think they're a poop company. This is kind of where we disagree a little bit. But I think they still have potential there going forward. They got nice sites in Pennsylvania. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Plus, it seems like the OGs of BTC selling before the government shutdown ends. Hopefully they don't know something bad for now. Seems like sell the news so far. A little Bitcoin's up here, but yeah, some of the miners are down. Imagine buying Bitfarms 1 month ago at 647, now at 358, down 45%. That happens, right? Unfortunately, it does happen to a lot of people, a lot of times actually, because you just don't know where they're going to go, right? They've definitely had a nice run here. I mean, Bitfarms was less than 70 cents here just April, right? 70 cents almost went up 1,000%. Well, it probably did go up 1,000%, but it's had a huge run up here. So a little pullback is healthy, I think. It gives us more space to run up later on. All right, Dennis. Okay, IREN, what's the dealio? Right now, the way the market is right now, the market's a little skittish. Obviously, NASDAQ was up today, but overall, I think what's it called? Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the term. The risk on assets are having a hard time a little bit right now. With the government opening back up, I think that'll help out. And I think it's going to take a little time. So be patient there. Isaac says, hello, Seb. Hello to you as well. Thanks for coming in. Dan, are you still sticking with your 25-30 price target for Cleanspark for this year? I am, yeah. AI, nervous about Bitfarms on Thursday. Hope there are I'm guessing that no bad news. Yeah. Whenever they report, we'll talk about it. I'm hoping that there's some good news at least, or at least some good, not good mention. It's, positive information as far as their path forward here. Dan, hi Seb, hope all is well. It is, hope it is well with you also. Yeah, Bitfarms better release some news Thursday. That would be great, obviously, for us here. Yeah, I believe it's going to be make or break for miners and BTC next week. Why? What's the reason behind that? If you could elaborate on that. Let's see. Thank you so much for the super chat there. Told you government opens, melt up. This will rack all the shorts before we get the real crash in equities. Take profits on the way up. Okay. And you were definitely right that when government opens up, it's going to be, a nice run up here. Let's see. Sorry, Mel, it just feels like that would be a miracle at this point. Patience. We've been in this before. NG asks, is anyone DCing into Bitfarms at these levels? I think these levels are pretty good price points. We could come down a little bit more, but I think dollar cost averaging, if anything, right? Not financial advice. Ross, question, there is any good news for Riot in the future for uptrend price movement? If they get a deal with a hyperscaler or, whatever that might be for HPCI, then that should definitely help the stock there. All right, NG, what are you predicting to happen during the news release? For Bitfarms there? I don't know. We'll definitely have to wait and see. Angie says, I'm having $2 average of 45,000 shares, thinking of adding more. Nice. Andrew says started buying back into Bitfarms below $4. The way to go. Let's see, Seb, the screen is stuck. I hope it's not stuck anymore. That was a while ago. Let's see, Victor C. Microbury about depreciation costs for GPUs for Meta. Oracle, will this news affect the miners? IREN, Cypher, he is going to drop some news on the 23rd of November. What are your thoughts? Well, he's probably going to be looking, depending on, well, again, depending what kind of numbers is he using, right? Is he using 3-year terms for depreciation, 5 years? What's the length there on those? GPUs obviously are very, very costly here. We do have some competition happening in this space, which is good because I think that kind of brings down prices on some of these things. So that's overall good for the market in general. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what he actually comes out with that stuff, right? Okay, the screen is stuck on BTC chart. I'm showing it's going up here. Hopefully you guys are seeing. Yeah, it's moving. Okay. You guys are staying stuck here. Okay, hopefully it's been fixed there. All right. Sana, hey Seb, I have a deep conviction that you will end up a bag holder. HPC is cool when the market is hot, but when depreciation kicks in and customers slow capex, you're in big trouble. Well, yeah, at that point, yeah. But again, the depreciation, the big thing is for these guys to build out the data centers, right? Those things will then lead to further, obviously, revenues down the road here. The ones that are getting into, well, you got hyperscalers that are buying up crazy. You got also Google, which has their own tensor processing unit, TPUs, that they're using for their inference and for AI. So not everybody's buying NVIDIA's. Who else is not buying it? There's somebody else that's making their own chips. I mean, Tesla's making their own AI chips as well for their cars. It just all depends on the cost, right? But the quickest way is obviously buy NVIDIA chips to get things on board there. Now, the revenues, I mean, still early in this time frame. Depreciation obviously is going to be an issue potentially for them, but I don't know how big of an issue it's going to be. I think people are just maybe blowing it out of proportion, maybe. Okay. Get the sub screen is frozen again. It could be, I mean, I don't know if it's YouTube this time around. I mean, I'm seeing pretty good, healthy bit rate going out, so that shouldn't be an issue there. Sterlington says, no sound yesterday, stuck today. What will it be tomorrow? LOL. Love what you do, though. I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully it's nothing else. Angel says, pump and dumps. I don't think it's pump and dumps yet. We still have much more to go up, I believe, in these things. So make a habit of checking that chat every 5 minutes. I am looking into it. Yep. In the zone. Frozen screen. Okay. Look over here, please. All right. Talked about that. Steve, hey Seb, given where we are in the current market cycle, which mining companies expanding into HPC or AI do you think are best positioned from a valuation multiple perspective? I think right now, Cleanspark, Hive, Bitfarms, along with, I would say, Riot even, or not Riot, TeraWulf. I think TeraWulf is probably still undervalued from where it probably should be. After that, if IREN can execute like they're planning on executing, and have a lot of annual run rate of about 3.5 to maybe 4 billion next year, that's going to be huge for them as well. So there's still obviously at least a 2 to 3x potential on that one. Those are the ones, but those are the ones I'll be looking at. All right. Talked about that. Okay. All right, Sterlington. So rumors are BTC will tank again. I hope the miners that are AI based don't too. I don't know right now. A lot of these guys are obviously in the build out phase for HPC AI business. So if Bitcoin tanks now, I think it would have some impact on, because they are largely beholden to Bitcoin price, because that's where a lot of the revenues are coming in from right now. But eventually, as they transition more into HPC AI and they generate more revenue from that than Bitcoin, then they might be more insulated from Bitcoin price volatility going forward here. But right now, yeah, if it tanks, then yeah, that would not be good for these guys here. All right. MT. So if you had to put a stop loss on your shares of IREN, where would you put it? Where would I put it if I had to put a stop loss on it? We're at, what, $60 right now, roughly, more or less, with IREN, right? $60.17, yeah. So, I mean, I would probably put it probably around $45, I think I would probably put it in at that point. My average share price on that is around $8 or something like that, so I'd still be up close to, what, 400, 500% at that point if I was to do it. But that's kind of where I would think. But I think that one still has a lot more room to run here. All right, Rusty, let's see. The only deal left for Riot when the shell is done will be Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. Give them time here, right? Let's see if they can get something. Let's see. Sterlington, the institutions just don't want the working people getting rich. Yeah, they try to get you out of those stocks for sure, and they drop them back down. Then how is it possible for Cleanspark to get to 25-30 in a month? Sounds far-fetched. Not too far-fetched. I mean, it got to 20, what did it get to? $23 here recently? Yeah, it was like $23 here in the last 2 weeks or something like that. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Let's see what's going on here. Come on, load. It's not loading for me. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's TradingView. Everything else looks pretty good except for TradingView. So I think it's TradingView. I'm blaming it on them. Let's see if we can refresh this. Lead page. Yes, refresh. All right, Hive, Cleanspark. All right, there we go. We got a little bit better connection here. 15 minutes daily. There we go. Okay, now it's loading back up. So this was back, what, October, right? In October, middle of October, we got to $23.61. We've obviously come down quite a bit here in the last 2 to 3 weeks. We went down 40%, right, from that, and then took us, what is that, roughly 18 bars, so 18 trading days or so. And then look how fast we went up from there, from the bottom here at 843 through the top here. It took us 28 trading days, so roughly a month and a half. And we went up 164%. Could we do that? Yeah, I think it's possible with these things. But we need, obviously, the markets and the sentiment to kind of change around AI again to be a little bit more bullish. We need to see some more deals and things like that happening here. Okay. And it looks like the page is stuck again. What the heck is going on today? I may have to restart the computer here tonight because obviously things are not working the way they should be. So you guys didn't even get to see that. Sorry. See, that's working. If we go to browse again, is that working? Let's see if that actually works. There we go. There's that. Okay. All right. So there you go. Right. $23 here about a month ago. It can definitely run back up here. We ran up quite nicely here within a month and a half also. So it's definitely doable. All right, talked about that one. Let's see what else. Rob, Hive had a great PR today, but share price didn't climb. I mean, that's just the market today. Sometimes the market is just the market. You expect it to go up on something, but it doesn't. And it's just the market being the market. Market can be a pain in the butt, right? It's not always what we think it's going to do, but it's what they want it to do. And unfortunately, we're just on here for the ride. User says, today miners were going up until the Michael Burry post about GPU depreciation. Then they all tanked along with Neo Clouds here. So I guess that was part of the reason why we went, obviously, well, we were in the green in the beginning, but also he's got a short position there. So you got to be obviously careful what his calculations are and things like that about GPUs. Rob says Bitfarms earnings on Thursday before the bell. Okay, I thought it was Friday, so you were right there. DeFi says Cleanspark is getting killed. What's your thoughts on dilution? Seems down after hours. Well, it's because of the convertible notes. Every time a company does convertible notes, the company stocks go down after hours or pre-hours, would depend when they announce it, but it's usually after hours. And then they go down for like a day or two, giving time for all of those note holders that are future note holders to get in better prices, and then the stock usually runs up after that. So I'm not too worried about it just yet. So Seb, I'll bet you become a bag holder this cycle. Keep pushing up, then price targets. LOL. Okay. Well, time will tell, right? I'm not going to be a bag holder. I mean, even if I sell at 50% loss from where it's at right now, I'll still be in the green, but it won't be in a bag holder. Today market isn't skittish, only miners and neo clouds due to Michael Burry. VIX is down, greed and fear index was better. Okay, let's see, CoreWeave call said bottleneck is power shell. Yeah, power is a big thing. CoreWeave also said clients will still sign up to use H100s after contract expired. Older GPUs still good for inferencing. Contract pricing only dropped by 5%. Okay, so yeah, so it's not nowhere near as bad as people are calling it. Victor, question, will Michael Burry news make IREN and Cypher sell off? I don't know, right? I don't know if it's, a lot of it is also algos, right? Algorithms that are trading this stuff here. Something comes out like that, the algos overreact, and then they eventually correct on this stuff, but we'll see. I'm not too worried yet. Rohit, is the bull run over? If yes, this was pretty short and disappointing for BTC and miners. I don't think the bull run's over. I think we're going to be in extended cycles here still. That's just my thoughts on it. Could be wrong on it though. User says depreciation should affect GPU, not PowerShell. PowerShell should have longer lifespan. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about 20, 30 years potentially. Let's see, Rob. Hey, Seb, just one thing I wanted to mention about this channel. You're awesome. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Seb, how low key you're Seb, low key you're a kid analyst. I'm gonna charge Squiggler too. What else? Sterlington, is TA worth paying for? I know you get more on your watch list and it is beneficial. I do pay for it. You can put more info on the charts as well. So as far as, you know, those widgets, or not widgets, but the different chart things you can put on it, I do pay for it. I do find it useful. So, and you usually get pretty good data as well on it. But I find it useful. All right, Senna DW, why do you have such a HO for Seb? Why watch the videos? Good question there, but everybody's welcome to their opinion, right? I could be wrong. He could be right. I'm not saying that I'm right 100% of the time. See, certainly waiting for Black Friday deal. If so, okay. All right, Paul. So, if he is, why are you here? Then don't be a hater. I mean, he's here to come in and see what others are thinking, right? And that's okay. Sometimes, I mean, really, really don't want an echo chamber. So if somebody comes in with an opposite opinion, I welcome it, right? Just be kind and polite, and we'll definitely take the other side as well. User, convertible notes dip is a buying opportunity. If you are bullish, they usually recover in a few days. That's kind of what I've been saying here. Let's see, Burry closes positions already, just makes people skittish. Okay. Rob, did Cleanspark shoot shareholders in the feet again? No. They part of the convertible notes is they're going to be buying back 400 million worth of shares there. So that's good for shareholders. And then they're going to obviously use that to grow out and things like that. All right, there's why is IREN selling off more than other miners? It's also had a huge run, more so than the other miners, so that could be part of it also. But it's, yeah, don't be too concerned about it just yet. We'll see where they end up by the end of the week here. Sir Langton, Seb, you've made us all richer. We salute you, sir. Thank you all. I appreciate that. But it's not me, it's you guys. You guys did the due diligence. You did the research. Yeah, you guys came to my channel. You guys, I'm sure, probably went to other channels as well. You know, Space is probably on X and everything else. It's you guys. You guys had the conviction, the fortitude, and the chutzpah to get it done. So it's really on you guys there. I just provide data and where I see things that might go. User, thank you for everything you do, Seb. I learned so much from you. Much appreciated. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for that. Seb, you made us all richer. Thank you. Thank you. Michael, question. Victor, Michael shorted Palantir. It was up nicely yesterday. Yeah, just because, I mean, he had a nice short position, obviously, during the housing crisis. Made a lot of money on that, right? So, and he's been right on other things as well. Well, not always. So, we've made a ton of, why are people complaining? Well, because things are going down. You want things to go back up, right? It's anytime things are going down, it's people's psychology, right? We don't want to see things going down, and people get down on their luck, it seems like, or at least they feel like they're down on the luck. They can't catch a break, and people become pessimistic instead of optimistic. And it's harder to be optimistic than it is to be pessimistic. That's why I mean, look at the news. What's the type of news that you hear on, Fox News or local news and things like that? It's how many people got shot, how many people got robbed, all these bad things, because that kind of is what sells, unfortunately, right? It's not that this person saved, X amount of lives or things like that. That's all the bad stuff, unfortunately. All right. Chillaxing here. The House should pass the bill for reopening the government Wednesday. I'm hoping that gets Bitcoin and stocks to start going up again. I'm hoping that will be the case also. The only caveat to that is obviously going to be the data that the government has been holding off on publishing because the government's been shut down. So labor, right, jobs, CPI, PCI data, and anything else data that we normally like to see. That will be interesting to see how that comes in, whether that's going to be positive or negative for the markets. We'll have to wait and see. All right, SK, will you buy Bitfarms or Cypher at these prices if you had cash? Bitfarms, yes. Cypher, I'd probably wait for a little bit more of a pullback on Cypher before I would buy back in. Sir Lellington, swings and roundabouts, UK saying it's dusting yourself off and taking it on the chin and getting on with life. Yeah, I agree with you there. Jose, you're the humblest guy on YouTube. Been watching you since 2021. Love your content. Keep it up. I appreciate that. I think that's going back quite a ways there. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, as you guys know, I don't try to sell you guys on anything. The only thing I do sell you on is my spreadsheets, right? And you can get those even for free if you just watch me and pull all the information for free if you wanted to. But other than that, I don't try to sell you guys on any kind of sponsorships or anything like that. I try to keep it pretty low key. What else here? Parvin, learning how to be a genuine person from you, Seb. It takes a lot of courage and patience to face criticism with such grace. I appreciate that. One great book that you can read for that is How to Win and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That is a great book there. There's also a book about a milkman. I can't remember what the name of it is, but that's also a really good book on that. And it's just, words are words. Words will not hurt me. People have their own opinions, and it's okay, right? We can agree to disagree, but still be friends, right? All right. Also, once government opens up, Treasury should be able to disperse cash and help with liquidity. Also, market expecting quantitative easing in December. Yep, that's definitely for sure. Victor's question. Mike Alfred mentioned Cypher may get another deal soon. Is that correct? They might. I mean, they do have a lot of sites potential for them, so it could happen there. Yeah. User, by the way, to be clear, CoreWeave CEO said power is not the constraint, but specifically the power shell itself, at least for CoreWeave, the power shell. So, I mean, the building, right? But we've heard also from Satya Nadella from Microsoft say they have the GPUs, but they don't have any place to put them in because it's power. Power is the limiting factor, the shell, the building to put them into, right? But you need to have the power in order to have the shell. So it goes hand in hand in there a little bit as well. Sir Langton says only one troll, so it's just a spec. Yeah, we get him from time to time. Not him specifically, but others as well. That's okay. Harris, have you sold any IREN? I have not. What is your target and how long do you think it will take to recover? I have not sold any IREN. I haven't sold anything. I still have all of my Cypher shares, Bitfarms shares, and Cleanspark shares as well. I don't know when it's going to recover, right? I think I look at it for future growth potential. The short-term fluctuations in the price, yeah, that can be disappointing. You'd definitely like to see the thing continue to go up here like a rocket. But you need those kind of pauses in between rallies to kind of get rid of some of the maybe leverage in there, get rid of some of the people that got in maybe a little bit later, things like that that don't have a conviction in it, and then the stock can possibly go back up here. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Long term, I'm probably going to be holding on for at least another year at minimum, if not longer, depending what we see from them growth-wise, right? Where are they at in a quarter? Where are they in 2 quarters? Where are they in 3 quarters? That will determine things. And also, where's the economy at that point also? And right now, it's not like I need the cash for anything. Yeah, I mean, I could use the cash here to finish out the basement and just pay somebody, but I don't want to pay somebody, $75,000 to $100,000 when I can do it for like $23,000 or $30,000, right? Save the money and then I can invest the other things. So that's kind of the way I look at it, at least. All right. CLSK question is CoreWeave goodbye at $98. I mean, they have a lot of contracts, obviously, right? But they also have a lot of contracts for sites that they don't own. I would like to see them be on a buying spree of sites, infrastructure, to have more control over it. So I don't know if 98 is a good price to get into it or not. I haven't done enough research on CoreWeave to really know if, where it should be. Correct. How high IREN, Cypher, and Hive can go this year? I mean, I would like to see IREN at least get to like 80, possibly. Hive, definitely a little bit higher from where it's at right now. Where's Hive right now? Hive is at 473, probably closer to like $6, $7, and then Cypher is the other one. Cypher's already had a nice run here. It's at almost $20 right now. It was obviously down a little bit today. But that one, yeah, $23, $25 by the end of the year would be nice, if not higher. Sterlington says, have a wonderful day, everyone. Let's make some money, but above all else, have fun and enjoy life's many pleasures. Absolutely. Have a great night, sir. See you next time. Let's see here. To be honest, Seb, I don't think you want to hold through this next bear. I think it's going to be catastrophic to portfolios. I definitely don't want to hold if I don't have to. And if we get a bear market, I mean, let's just say I would probably sell everything if we're down, like 35, 40% from where we are right now on these things. I'd probably sell at that point and be like, okay, all right, if Bitcoin goes down to like 80,000 or something like that, and everything else following suit as well, I'll probably end up selling at that point. Maybe keep a little bit on the table, but sell the majority of it. At least maybe sell some. I don't know. We'll have to definitely pay attention to it at that point. Let's see, user. I feel today's dip for miners was dumb. Just knee-jerk reaction to bury. Other AI stocks recovered. NVIDIA, Palantir, SEI, and BE. Okay. S is 50%. Well, that would be a bear market in Bitcoin for sure. I don't know. Like I said, I keep thinking we're going to get an extended cycle here. I don't see things that would make me think otherwise, at least not yet. All right. Roger, question came in a little late. Did Cleanspark get a deal? Is that why they're needing this $1 billion funding? They're trying to buy more. They haven't gotten a deal. Nothing has been announced. But they are trying to obviously build out more data centers and get more sites, more megawatts, basically gigawatts potential for them. And I was a little surprised that they're going to be buying back 400 million shares of the stock there. So I mean, that's actually pretty good there for shareholders, but I would have preferred them to use that probably for buying more sites, more megawatts. So we'll see. Maybe they're in like the early phases of getting a deal with somebody. Who knows? All right. How high Bitfarms can go this 2025? I think it should, at least get back to like $5, $6, something like that. Michael, is Bitcoin going down after Monday bounce? And do you have any idea why should rally like this the rest of the market? Okay, hold on. Let me read this again. Is Bitcoin going down after Monday bounce? And do you have any idea why should rally like the rest of the market? Bitcoin, as far as why it should rally, I mean, let's see, where's Bitcoin right now? I mean, Bitcoin's down a little bit. It's 0.57% down. I don't know if it's going to fall back down here. It's been acting actually pretty good here the last couple of days. We'll see. I don't know. Unfortunately, don't have a crystal ball here. Don't really know where it's going to go. But I think it's going to go up. That's just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Sorry, Melon 2S says, you're acting like these are only BTC miners still. Most won't mine BTC in a year or two. Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think there's going to be maybe a handful of miners that are still going to be buying Bitcoin there in like 2 years, at least the ones that I cover here right now. Maybe more. We'll be surprised by that. User, CoreWeave dipped today. They beat earnings, but one data center got pushed out to next quarter, and they had to lower projection. Their backlog grew from 30 billion to 55 billion. Okay, so that's still good there. Ab says this will take the entire market down with it. What is your reasoning behind thinking that Bitcoin, or are you thinking Bitcoin and the overall market's going to go down? Okay, Rosen, question. So is Cleanspark seriously trying to play both sides, diluting shareholders with 1 billion in convertible notes while claiming a buyback and still not saying at what price those notes convert? Well, the details are still in the beginning, right? So that usually comes out when they get closer to finalizing the deals on this stuff, and then you get like the percentages, what the percentages, if any, what is the cap calls, things like that. That'll be coming out. This is just an early release on that with not much information. So we'll get more information as time progresses there. Rob says, forgive my ignorance, but did I miss something? Who is this Burry that everyone keeps talking about that tanked the market? Michael Burry, he was the guy that shorted the, those were the mortgage-backed securities back in 2026, 2027, and then finally they obviously tanked in 2028. So if we go by that, we have about 2 years before things tank, based on at least Michael Burry's. If you watch the movie The Big Short, he's the main guy there that's shorting, right? Making the banks do these instruments for him where he can short the mortgage market, which has never been done before. So that's who that guy is. Okay. All right, so you're saying the 50-year secular bull market that we've had here on it. But again, it's been secular, but you have also had deflation, or not inflation, right? So money is getting debased as time progresses, making things more expensive, making things go back up. You've also seen incredible gains in resources, gains in productivity, all of those things here in the last 50 years also, which also contributes to all of this stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. What else we got here? Okay, talked about Michael Burry there, the Big Short. Yep. It's user says Corby is still making loss, but smaller amount of loss and close to break even. They had to lower their guidance. Says, okay, talked about that. You guys are talking between yourselves. Roger, question. We're too close to end of the year. There will be profit taking near December. I do agree with you there. Towards the end of December, to end the year, not enough time to pump. Well, we still could pump a little bit here into Thanksgiving and into like the first 2 weeks of December. So we could still pump. No one knows, but most guess it's due to lowering guidance. I mean, okay, I'm talking about CoreWeave there. All right, Michael, shouldn't Bitcoin keep on with the rally is what I meant since market's so strong on Monday. Okay. Mr. X, hi Seb, are IREN, Bitfarms, Cleanspark, and Hive a good buy at these prices as I want to add to my positions? Thank you. Dollar cost averaging, because if they do come down a little bit more, right, that's the way I would do it, at least dollar cost averaging. But I do think Cleanspark, Bitfarms, Hive as well. IREN's definitely come up there, but they obviously, if you think they can still do at least a 2x in like the next year or so, then it still would be a good time to get into it, right? So not financial advice as always. All right, what else we got here? Usually essentially the lower outlook due to one data center being delayed. Okay, talking about CoreWeave there. All right. Okay, Michael, here we go. Hut 8 CEO was on CNBC at some conference saying selling power and spin off the Bitcoin part of what does spin-off trade under? American Bitcoin, ABTC, that's what it trades under. Shivam, question, if you had $100 now, how would you distribute that in IREN and in Cleanspark? I would probably go, like I have pretty much my portfolio right now. IREN, Cleanspark, Cypher, Bitfarms is the one I'll probably go into. Karan, why is Bitcoin dumping? Is it dumping after hours? It's not dumping. It's down 0.62%. That's not a dump. It's had a nice couple day run up here last 2 days. Little pullback. Healthy. I don't see that as a big deal there. All right. Roger's got a question here. Seb, you skimmed off the top this entire time. You would be a millionaire by now. Basically, every time it pumps, skim off 5 to 10%. If you skimmed. So no, if I skimmed off the top here, I still wouldn't be a millionaire right now. Well, I possibly could be because of the large portion that I have in my retirement account for the 401k, which has WGMI, which that thing is done phenomenally well for me. So if I sold that right now, I would be a millionaire more or less, right? That's my retirement account. I think that's still got more room to run. I'm not to worry about that one so much. Yes, I want to protect the gains that I've had in there, so I will eventually, trim on that position as well. But the other ones that I have as far as my personal trading stocks, Bitfarms, Cleanspark, IREN, Cypher, those have not gotten to 7 figures yet. So, yeah, even if I skimmed off the top of those things, I would not be at $1 million right now, no. All right, Rob, Bitfarms will have a big pop after Thursday morning. Let's get some shares and celebrate. Okay. And Sir Langton, he's still living off the big short. Some people don't know when to let go. Yeah. I mean, he did fantastically well on that with the shorting position there on the mortgage-backed securities. And he's living off of that. I mean, he doesn't have to do anything pretty much, I don't think, after the amount of money that he made on that. All right, but that's it. I think we're going to call it a day here. We're going on an hour and 10 minutes as it is. User says, Burry tried to short Tesla a few years back. Think it didn't work out. No, it didn't work out. I agree Burry is overrated. I would say so as well on that. Yeah, he's had some good bets, some bad bets, like everybody else. But yeah, I think he's not the oracle there. All right. Harris asks, do you think IREN could drop another 20% from here? I don't. I mean, unless the market drops down, I don't think that they will drop that much. I mean, look how much they've only dropped here in the recent time frame, right? From their one peak here, we've had it go down. They went down 35%. I thought it was less than that. 35%. So they did that. From the current peak here, if we go down another 35% on them, they're now down 22. 35% would be right around, probably around $40, $50 or so. So would it be 20%? Not quite, but it's possible on these things. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I think the higher probability is that we actually go up just because of IREN, right? That's just my take on that. Okay, let's see if we got any other last questions here. We'll call it a day. Talk about that. All right, Michael, what did you say on the spinoff, and can you type it in the chat box? So it's American Bitcoin, ABTC is its ticker symbol there. And that's a spinoff, but it's not really, I really wouldn't call it spinoff. That's kind of a spinoff, but they're basically partnering with the Trump family there, and they have about, 60% of that company there right now. User says, last deal was done in 48, but that was before their first deal. Yeah. And Rob, everyone give the channel a thumbs up. I did. Thank you for that. And that was a nasty dip. Yeah. Every dip is a nasty dip for us, but we've been through it before. All right. That's it. Love you all. Thank you so much for coming in as always. I got to get some sleep. I'm sure you guys do as well. So thank you for coming in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about, obviously, BitU tomorrow, see what happened there. We'll run through the numbers as well, and then anything else that happens tomorrow after that. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.